Hey there, aspiring guitarists. Let's talk today about a guitalele. That's right, a Guitalele. Some call it a guitarlele. And you may think, okay, why are you doing this? Well, I often use ukuleles for teaching beginner guitarists, different kinds. There's many different kinds of ukulele. The smallest is a soprano. The next size is known as a concert. And you can see it has 4 strings. After that, you move up to a tenor. And then after the tenor comes a baritone. I really like the baritone because it's 4 strings, but it's tuned to the same 4 strings on a guitar. So it's the E, B, G, D. 1, 2, 3, 4. So if you play a D chord on a baritone ukulele, it's the exact same chord shape as you play on a guitar. So I'm going to take that a step further with the Yamaha GL1 Guitalele. And you can see it's got 6 strings just like a guitar. It's nylon. Let's compare it to the concert. The concert is a very popular size for a ukulele. So let's get them together. And you can see the guitalele is about a headstock longer than a concert. Hang with me, I'm going to tell you why this is important. Now, here is a little Martin travel guitar, which I really like. It's a great little guitar. Let's put the guitalele against it. And you can see that it's significantly smaller. So why would you care about this? Well, I enjoy playing it, but I care about it greatly for my grandchildren who are little. In fact, I've given guitaleles, that's the humidifier, dehumidifier coming on. I've given guitaleles to my grandchildren that aren't even a year yet, 3 years old and 8 years old, and it just fits them. Now, the tuning is different, and that may scare some people off, and that's what I want to talk about. All right, they can still learn chord shapes. For instance, that's an E chord shape, and you're going to see why I'm saying shape. That's an E minor, or you can do it with 1 and 2. But see how close the frets are? Let me make a D shape. And little body sizes and fingers can easily learn to make these shapes and progress straight on into a smaller size guitar and keep right on going. But there is a difference, and it's the tuning of the guitar. Now, a ukulele is only 4 strings, where the guitalele is 6. Well, the chords on a ukulele are totally different. On a guitalele, the shapes are the same. Now, you'll get some of the same shapes on a ukulele as well, but a ukulele is tuned G, C, E, A. And when you strum it, my dog has fleas. That's the sound it makes. But G, C, E, A. And the acronym, or one of a couple, that I used to teach it from the top string, the 4 string, is good cats, or children, good cats eat apples. G, C, E, A. Okay? The tuning on a guitalele is the same for the 4 strings as a ukulele. Good children eat apples. But we've got to add these 2 top strings like a guitar, and they're just A and D. So it starts on the 6th string with A, ends on the 1st string with A in a different octave. So how do I remember that? Well, with the ukulele, it's good cats eat apple. To add the A and the D, I just add 2 more words to the mnemonic. Ooh, I have a hard time with that. You know that acronym, mnemonic thing? As soon as I stop this video, I'll get it right. But anyway, so the 4, 3, 2, 1 is good cats eat apple. So we've got to add this 6th and 5th string. So how do we remember it? After dinner, good cats eat apple. After dinner, good cats eat apples. Now, the Yamaha comes with a little gig bag that you can carry. It's just a carry handle. It's not a shoulder strap because, you know, you're talking about little kids mostly to play it, but I love playing it too. And it does come with a manual, and it has the tuning on there, and you can see it right here. Let's get a little closer. So as long as you can remember after dinner, good cats eat apples. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good after dinner, good children eat apples. Take your pick. I searched all over YouTube for a mnemonic. There it is, mnemonic for a guitalele. I found one in a foreign language that I couldn't understand what he was saying, even when I hit translate. I'm sure it made sense to his audience, and I'm not downing his mnemonic. So I knew the good cats eat apples, and I thought all I got to do is add the A and the D for the 6th and the 5th string. And so I just came up with after dinner, since we were talking about eating anyway. So after dinner, good cats eat apples. After dinner, good children eat apples. Any way you want to remember it. Now, let's talk about this tuning. One of the things that I try to teach a beginning student is about chord shapes. I try to teach them everything I can about a chord. I drop little hints, you know, all the way to making, I told you the first chord, which is a C, just using one finger on the 1st fret, 2nd string. And I soon explained to them, what is a chord? Well, a chord is 3 notes, a triad. Now, it can be more notes, of course. Some of them will repeat. And then later, I try to explain that chords are based off of scales, and that there's certain positions and numbers in our scales. So, you may think, I don't want to put my beginning child through something where if they make a C chord, on the guitalele, the C chord shape, because this isn't a C chord on the guitalele. This is the same as if you put a capo on the 5th fret. So you're making a C chord shape. That's important, chord shapes, all the way to furthering your knowledge of the guitar, to the cage system, to breaking down how chords are made. When I look over at another guitarist, I pretty much know that's a C chord shape. I know that is a G chord shape. Now, I may not see it from the top view, the way you're looking down at the guitar, but you know, I even know that's probably an E minor. Now, when they're close in like this, it's harder to figure out what it is, but you do know that he's doing something around the 2nd fret. So the chord shapes become important. But if I make a C chord on the guitalele, I'm actually making a, remember it's capo the 5th fret, C, D, E, F, G. You can count 5 from the chord shape C, or you can not say the chord and count 4. C, D, E, F, G. So if you don't say the chord, here's an E minor. So E, F, G, A, B. So it goes from an E minor, you're climbing up. That's why you get the ukulele sound, the high-pitched sound. Okay, now you may think, oh God, I'm not going to do that. Well, if you let your child, or you as an adult, pick up a songbook, and it's not a Guitalele songbook, and there is an excellent one that I found on Amazon. I'll put a link in the description. But you may not want to do that yet. You can actually use the Guitalele as they can learn the chord shapes. So you can show them a D, and they're actually making a D chord shape. Never forget shape. All right, D, E, F, G, A. They're actually making an A chord. You don't even care about that right now. You may think, I'm not doing that. Give them a songbook, let them play it. The chord changes, even if they're at a higher pitch, are still going to follow the line of the music. It's still going to sound like it. It's just going to be in a different pitch. Now, you don't want to join in a guitar that's playing in standard tuning, E, A, D, G, B, E, because then you're going to clash. Just remember that. Let this soak in. It can seem really, really confusing, but my grandchild, very easily. It's easy to hold. It's a Yamaha. It's well crafted. No, it's not an expensive instrument. In fact, you can find guitaleles and guitarleles made by Kayla, Luna. They're going to be more expensive with more expensive appointments, electronics, and things like that. But the guitalele, like ukuleles, are a good way to bring a child, especially because of the size, but they're also just a lot of fun to play. And they have that wonderful little Hawaiian ring out that can, lend some fun with music. Playing different instruments that are on a similar vein. For instance, we're talking about guitars, guitaleles, and ukuleles. These are stringed instruments with frets. Now, you also have stringed instruments that don't have frets. They're a fretless neck. They're played with bows. You even have an upright stand-up bass. But these are stringed instruments. Some stringed instruments are easier to move to others. Now, I have that bass there. I also have let me just show it to you. It's kind of based on a ukulele too, as well, sorry. This is a Kayla U bass. It's got the stand-up nylon. It's got the special strings. So it's another form of ukulele. And I guess the point I'm trying to make is, there's always MTC in your guitar journey. More to come. I'll never forget when I had pounded in my head the way to make an E minor. And I was like, well, can't I make it with 2 and 3? No, make it with 1 and 2. I understand if you're learning classical guitar, the very direct methods they want you to make a chord. I'm always making chord and doing chord progressions when I teach a beginner to try to transition them to the next chord coming. If I'm going to make an E minor with 2 and 3 instead of 1 and 2. I do that if I'm going to move to E, because to get an E out of the E minor, all I got to do is drop that index finger down. And so that makes more sense to me than using 1 and 2 on an E minor, having to lift up and change. So I realize this can seem confusing. So let's summarize and wrap this up. A guitalele, when you teach the beginner chord shapes, can help them develop dexterity, muscle memory, learn what a chord shape is. When they move into the CAGED system, CAGED, do bar chords and other things, those chord shapes are going to become important. But I guess the main reason that I think the guitalele can be a great thing, if you can get all that complicated transposing down the road, you can use it as a transposition tool to learn how to transpose into a different key and to write out things, or to look at a song book and go, well, okay, it's in G, let me put a capo on and change it, and then you write over and change the chords, but you're keeping those shapes. So you can spawn all kind of music lessons, especially guitar lessons, from something like this. But the most important thing it does is, number one, it's small enough they can play it. Number two, they're going to learn chord shapes. You can still open up a music book, let them play the chord shapes, just play along, and it'll be fine. Especially if they're just playing by themselves or with another guitalele. Maybe you want to get one and help your child learn. So just something to think about. And let's not forget the tuning. Okay? The tuning is after dinner, good children eat apples. Or after dinner, good cats eat apples. So, and you just tune it with a regular digital tuner and follow those letter keys. I hope this helps, especially beginning guitarists or parents that want to get their children involved with the guitar. I got to tell you, one of the I gave I gave 2 guitaleles to one of my son's grandkids, and then I went another son I gave after that because she was older. But they immediately sent me back, even the small one, strumming the guitar and just having a blast because they could hold it. And I had tried many things that they could hold, which is why I started them off with ukuleles and rhythm 1, 2, 3, 4, and things like that. But the guitalele is a good option. Hey, I hope your guitar journey is a blessed one, and I hope the guitar journey of your children or whoever you're trying to teach is a blessed one, and this is just something else that can enhance it. And most of all, and I always mean it, hey, happy picking.